Bernie Madoff started humbly. In 1960, with $5,000 borrowed from his family, he opened a small investment firm. He was clever, he was charming, and in the beginning, he was legitimate. He helped build something called the NASDAQ, one of the largest stock exchanges in the world. He served as its chairman. Senators trusted him. Billionaires trusted him. Banks trusted him. If there was one man in the kingdom of finance you could trust with your gold, everyone agreed it was Bernie Madoff. But here is where our fable takes a turn. Because inside the wizard's tower, there was a room no one was meant to see. On the 17th floor of his New York office, a small team worked in secret. They weren't trading stocks. They were writing stories. Beautiful, convincing, completely fabricated stories, dressed up as investment returns. Every month, clients receive statements showing their wealth growing steadily, reliably, magically, 10%, 12%, even in years when the whole kingdom was burning. What Madoff was running had a name, a Ponzi scheme. Named after a swindler from a century before, it works like this. You take money from new investors and use it to pay the old ones. You never actually invest anything. You just keep the bucket filling and hope no one ever looks inside. It requires two things to survive: new money flowing in and absolute unshakable trust. Bernie had both for over 40 years. Here is the most important question of our fable. How does a lie this big survive this long? The answer is uncomfortable, because people wanted to believe. Investors felt lucky, even special, to be allowed into Madoff's fund. He turned people away. He made it feel exclusive, like a secret club for the truly elite. When something feels like a privilege, we stop asking questions. And regulators, they investigated him 5 times. 5 times they found nothing, because Bernie always had an answer, always had a document, always had a smile. One man saw through the magic. A financial analyst named Harry Markopoulos spent years screaming the truth. But in a kingdom drunk on gold, who listens to the man saying the wine is poison? Every fable has a turning point. Ours came in 2008. A great financial storm swept the kingdom, the worst in a generation. Frightened investors began asking for their money back, billions of dollars worth, and for the first time in 40 years, Bernie Madoff had no coins left in the bucket. In December 2008, he gathered his 2 sons and told them the truth. Everything, all of it, a lie. For decades. The next morning, his sons called the FBI. When the truth finally came out, the damage was almost impossible to comprehend. $65 billion. Gone. Not stolen by strangers, taken by the most trusted man in the room. The victims were not just the wealthy, they were charities serving the sick, foundations funding schools, retirees who had handed Bernie their entire life savings, ordinary people who believed in the wizard. Bernard Madoff was sentenced to 150 years in prison. He died behind bars in 2021 at the age of 82. The kingdom he built, made of nothing but trust and paper, had long since turned to dust. So what does our fable teach us? Lesson 1. If something sounds too good to be true, ask more questions, not fewer. Consistent high returns with no bad years is not genius. It is a red flag. Lesson 2. Exclusivity is a trick. When someone makes you feel lucky to give them your money, that feeling is the weapon, not the gift. Lesson 3. Trusted institutions can fail. Madoff was investigated 5 times and cleared. Regulators are not infallible. The final guardian of your wealth is you. And lesson 4, perhaps the most human of all. We're all capable of ignoring what we don't want to see. The question is whether we build the courage to look anyway. Bernie Madoff was not a wizard. He was a mirror, reflecting back the parts of human nature we least like to admit. Our hunger for easy wealth, our love of feeling special, our willingness to trust a beautiful story. The real magic was never his, it was ours. And the moment we stopped believing, the spell was broken. Every great fable leaves us with something to carry home. Today, carry this. Your financial story is still being written, and unlike Bernie's victims, you still have time to read the fine print. If this tale stayed with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to the Wealth Fable, where every story is a lesson and every lesson is a gift. Until next time, spend wisely, trust carefully, and never stop asking questions.